Hey there everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it has been a while since I've posted, but that's because I've been working hard to make my Etsy page. I've got new content on my Etsy page. All the artwork that you can see on my channel is on there for sale now, so I'll put a link to that in the description below. I'm also going to be going to a couple of fairs soon in July. One on the 11th in Caerphilly, one in Merthyr on the 18th of July. So I'll put details for that in the description below. Now today we're going to be painting another landscape. This isn't from memory or from a reference of a photo. We're just going to completely be imaginative with this one today. Now I'm just going to start off like I usually do in any painting by painting the background, the sky. So I've got some new brushes that I haven't used before. They don't have the measurements on these ones though. They've just got the numbers on them, and this is number 6. But just a wide flat brush. Starting at the edges here, just laying on some blue paint. This brush is quite wet as well. Just going for our first light layer, going up and down and left and right, just to spread this paint out nice and thin on this canvas. We don't want it to be too thick. We just want a nice blue colour on our canvas. I've also managed to join up or attempting to join up with a gallery in Merthyr, which is in Caerphilly, Merthyr. So I'll be meeting with them on the 6th of July as well, to have a look and see if I can exhibit my artwork in there. Hopefully I can. We'll see how that goes. Just getting a thin roll of glue on my brush again here, just trying to spread it out. It also helps get rid of the streaks, the brush streaks. We just want a nice thin even layer of this dark blue. Just gonna wash my brush here, and I usually just use an old towel, just lightly pinch it to get all the excess off there. Again, just a thin roll of paint on the edge of the brush, and we're just blending it in. We want it to be dark at the top and go lighter as we go down. If you want a darker blue, you can mix it with a little tiniest bit of black, although that might make it a bit too dark. If you want a lighter coloured blue, just mix it with a bit of white, but I'm just gonna go for the normal deep blue colour for this sky. Probably the easiest part of the painting to make is the background like this sky like this, because you don't have to worry about any detail or anything. You can just paint at this stage. Sky's all different colours and textures anyway, so don't matter if you get a big splotch of blue in one area, you can always just wet the brush a bit. See how, I don't know if you can see, but in this corner here we've got a bit of a splotch, so we're just gonna go with the wet brush just to try and spread this paint out a bit. Not worried about how anything looks yet, just trying to spread this blue paint out, because I mean, look at it, it can get quite thick sometimes, and that's when you want to wet the brush a bit to thin it out. It'll make it a bit lighter. And I'm just going up and down, left and right, left and right. So yeah, as you can see, I've got a bit of a dark patch up here. So we're gonna put a lot more paint on the brush and just try and blend that in. Alternatively, you could wait until it's dry and put another layer on it over the top so that you don't see that anymore. It's just from where the wood is, to be honest, and it's pressing against the canvas. These canvases I've got, they're quite standard cheap canvases. I think this is a 40 by 40 one, so it's not the biggest one, it's quite small. And yeah, that happens is just from where the wood is. When you're pressing against this, the paint isn't going on there evenly. So yeah, we can just leave that top bit to dry for now, because we want to put another layer of blue on there. I want it to be a lot darker than that. I try and just use one type of blue, although I do have many different types, as you can see, but these are pre-mixed ones. This one is just regular, it says Windsor blue. Brand new palette knife, never been used before, so we're gonna mess it up now. Yeah, so the best way to mix colours is you just take a bit of white, so I don't want that much. I want quite a bit of blue, so we don't want it to be too dark. And we just fold it on itself, mix it up till we get the colour that we want. I feel like the white sort of, I don't know, like thickens it up a bit as well. Just gonna get the excess off. Just scraping it on the side of the palette with my knife, and we're going to start blending some of these lighter colours in, just going all the way across, just same sort of thing, just getting a little bit, don't need too much, and just whacking it on the canvas, blending it in. Just going to wash my brush a little bit now. And what you can do, just take a bit of white, mix it in if you want to make it a bit lighter as we go down. Stick a bit of water on the brush as well, helps it thin the paint out, helps it spread out a bit more evenly as well. Just helps spread it out a bit more evenly. So we're just going to cover this bottom half of the canvas now. Right, so just a bit of a darker blue in again at the top here. Doesn't matter if it's not all one colour, because we can just putting the background on, and the sky, you know, I mean, is the sky all one colour anyways? I'm just going to whack on a bunch of paint up here because I want to tuck another layer on. Just going to wet my brush a bit, thin that paint out. Makes it easier to spread it out and get the textures. I want a few little streaks and stuff maybe in my sky. Just mix a bunch of colours together and put them on there if you want the illusion of like very distant clouds or some streaks like airplane streaks or whatever through the sky. Just get a bit more water on my Actually, I'm just trying to blend all this in now. Get rid of all the lines and everything. We're just blending it all in now. Dip it in the water again, thin it out. Yeah, because like I said, I had all big blotches on that side again because of the wood of the canvas. I wanted to get rid of that, so we've got a nice beautiful clear blue sky now. I'm just kind of blending in all these colours together. I try not to waste any paint as well. I try to use up you don't have to do this, but like it's just something I do. I try to use up everything on my palette, like before I put more on it. Doesn't matter if there's like a little bit that goes to waste. It's always going to happen with painting, you know. But yeah, I'm just covering the last half of this canvas now. Right, there we go. That's our sky basically done. I mean, there's not much more I could do to that. I probably might put another layer on it, but I'm just going to leave that to dry for now. So I'll be back after that's dried. I'm going to go wash my palette off a bit and my brush, and then leave that to dry as well and come back to it. So that's it for me for now. That's painting the sky. Right, so I'm back. I've let the paint dry for a bit. Got a clean palette and a clean brush. Been soaking in the water for a bit, so I'm just going to pinch it off with a towel to dry it. And I'm going to start with my second layer of blue here. Just going to get a touch of water on my brush, thin that paint out a bit. Don't worry if the paint drips down, doesn't matter, we're just trying to thin it out and get the nice deep dark blue bits at the top. And like I said, as we work down, we put a bit of white on our palette. Like so. The white on there, and just mix some of the blue in with the white. Make a slightly lighter colour. Get a nice even amount on our brush. Blend it in nicely. Like I said, it don't matter if there's a couple of nice little streaks going across. That creates actually quite a nice effect, I believe. So paint's getting a bit thick now, so just wash him off. Get a bit more water on my brush to help thin it all out and help blend it all in. And at the top here, our last layer of blue. Nice long strokes at the top here now. Just getting that a little bit. The clips on this easel sometimes cover a little bit of the canvas, so you kind of got to give it a bit of a sideways action just to get underneath there. Bit of water on my brush, getting a bit thick. The paint now, you don't want it to be too thick. Just finish this bottom bit off here now. Nice and light at the bottom. There we go. Just going to blend in some of these colours here a bit nicer. A bit of water on the brush again, it's getting a bit too thick. When you feel like, you know, it's getting a bit too thick, when you feel like, you know, you're kind of dragging the paintbrush along with you. It's kind of dragging across the canvas and it's not going on there nice. Just going to spread this paint out a little bit, blend it in. Especially at the top here, just going to add a little bit more of the darker blue at the very top. A couple of these edges. Check a bit of water on the brush. Just blending in all these blue colours nicely here. See how I've just got like a whole mixture going on. So every time my brush is going in there, it's, I mean, there's a couple of different shades on there, and that's what we want really. Just blend all these different shades in, make it look natural, you know, as natural as we possibly can. I'm thinking we are just about done. Sometimes you just gotta take a step away, take a step back and look at it from a distance and think, you know, are you happy with that? Do you need to put more or less paint in some areas? Like, so I'm just gonna blend these couple of bits of the bottom in a bit better here. Take a step back again. Yeah, you know, I'm liking how that's looking. So that's my brush down now, because I'm done with that, and that is the sky completed. So yeah, just to recap, you know, we put the darker blues at the bottom, get lighter as you go along, mix all sorts of different shades on your palette. Make sure you use the water to spread it out, blend it all together, and you've got a nice sky on your canvas. So once again now I'm going to leave that to dry, and that's probably going to be it for this first episode. I don't want it to be too long. There will be another episode coming out shortly after where we'll do some clouds or something. That's it from me for now, and thank you everybody for watching, who has been watching. Like I said, I've got a couple of events and stuff going on, and my Etsy page is up, so I'll put all the details for that in the description of this video. Thanks for watching.